sometimes it's a little lonely.
So with you wanting to be, you said you're going to school to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
As you're working at the preschool, do you feel, are there times where you feel like your passion's dying, or do you constantly want to be a teacher?
I think I still want to be a teacher, just without everything else
Right.
going on. And it's easy to forget that when I do become a teacher, I won't have everything else in the way. It will just be that.
Right. Is preschool the age group that you wanna teach?
Yeah, preschool or kindergarten, I think, would be ideal.
What made you decide to do preschool or kindergarten?
Well, I've always liked working with kids. I feel like they're a lot easier to work with. I think they're kind of the more just not corrupted part of us.
Right.
And so if I have the opportunity to influence them in a good way at such a young age, I was thinking I'd like to do it.
You'd like to put in your...
My input. Be like me. Yes.
Before you get too old and the world starts corrupting you, like you said. Target them while they're innocent. I like that. So your relationship with your coworkers is strong as well?
But yeah, it's a good one.
Okay.
We really don't hang out outside the workplace a lot since we're always busy, but it's good to be around them.
Okay, I'm going to put 2 straight lines to signify the strength you have with the 2 separate sets of coworkers. Is that look okay for you?
Mm-hmm.
All right, is there anything else that you would like to add to this? Any other influences in your life that we haven't covered so far?
Maybe my professors.
Your professors? Are they an important part of your life?
They are. I have a couple that are really influential, so they're a lot of help.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So there are other teachers who I just don't want to be in their class.
So how would you signify your relationship between you and your professors as a whole?
As a whole, I would say that it's a fairly good one. There are only 2 classes I don't tend to love. Other than that, it's good.
So fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
And how about we put a strong bond between you and the professors to signify the 3, and we'll put a 3 on top. Or the, is that for the right amount you said?
Yeah.
And then we'll do a squiggly line for the ones that you said you're not really sure about. How have you been doing in the classes with the teachers that you said you don't really care for?
Well, it's one of the teachers as opposed to the class.
Okay.
And then I hadn't learned it. I'm taking chemistry and history, and I find them both extremely boring. But that being said, I kind of have to try a little harder in those classes. So actually, I'm doing better in those classes than I thought I would. And sometimes it's a struggle, but I have to remind myself that I have to do it.
So just to clarify, it's not necessarily the teachers, but the subject, the class that they represent.
Yes. I walk in there and I'm like, why are you representing this?
Alright, so is there anything else that you wanted to add to this?
No.
Alright, so just looking at this, I want to share this with you. Just looking at this eco map, it looks like you have a lot of really strong bonds with various influences in your day-to-day life. And that's really healthy considering you were saying how much you have on your plate right now with working and school and your extracurricular activities. Do you feel supported by the influence that surround you?
I feel like from some people who get it, yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel like other people don't always get why I do so much, or they're not as supportive about it, but for the most part, yeah, that's a good feeling.
Why do you said that some people don't get why you do so much. So what makes you do so much?
Well, I have to work to pay for school. I have to go to school to do what I want to do.
Right.
And I thought it'd be smart to be involved with activities to make my resume look better than the next person's. And I have friends because they popped into my life, and so my professors are there because I have to take classes. And yeah, it's kind of started like a domino effect, and now I can keep it all up until I graduate.
So far, it looks like you're doing a fairly well job. You said that you you identified a few classes that you needed to do better in, but from hearing what you were saying about you wanted to study more, to focus on them more.
Yeah.
It's good to have that self-awareness and to see that you do have that determination to do well despite the busy schedule that you are experiencing at the moment. So is there anything you wanted to talk about that was on your mind?
Maybe how to maybe spend more time like on me and not everyone else or everything else.
And what would that look like to you, spending more time for yourself?
Just reading a book that I like. There's a whole list I haven't even gotten to touch that I love to read, and doing things that I like to do for fun, just on my own. Writing, music.
What kind of music do you like?
Acoustic.
Acoustic, really?
Mm-hmm.
And so listening to music, and you said writing, that's what you would do to take care of yourself and to take a break?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Have there been opportunities in the past where you were able to take a break in the midst of your busy schedule?
Sometimes, yes. I think now whenever I have free time, I'm tempted to just study more or catch up with people I haven't seen.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not possible at all and 10 being very possible, how would you rate being able to set a time every week to focus on you?
Well, put it that way. Maybe like a 7.
A 7?
Or 8.
And where would you put that into your schedule?
Maybe on the weekends.
On the weekends?
Like on a Sunday in the morning.
What do your weekends generally look like?
Well, Sundays I work in the evenings at the restaurant, and Friday nights and Saturdays are my Sabbaths, so I don't do anything, which is great. And yeah, that's it.
It sounds like you have a very distinct idea of what you would like to see for yourself in the future and to make that time for yourself. So is there any goals you'd like to establish for this next week to help you achieve being able to have that set time once a week to yourself?
Yeah, I think if I were to do that, it would make my week a lot better.
A lot better. And you're saying that Sundays were the best days for you in the mornings?
Yeah.
All right. Well, our time is coming to a close, but I really do appreciate you being open and honest with me and sharing your life and what affects you as a person. It was an honor to be able to see what it is like to be Jane. And I hope that within this next week, perhaps you were saying that Sundays in the mornings to take a moment for yourself to step back from your busy life, from work at the preschool and waiting tables and school and everything, to focus. We can see how that has helped you and feeling like you're being spread too thin. And then we can talk about that a little bit more if you so choose to come back. Does that sound great?
Yes, it does. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.